G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this mildly wet and miserable evening. It is a little bit fresh, it is a little bit moist. It was not supposed to be wet, but here we are. Anyway, how are we all doing, ladies and gents? Now, you'll see today's video is a little dark, and I hope the GoPro can see it. I didn't change any settings on it, so we shall hope for the best, although even at night the GoPro is not the best camera. But there's a reason we're recording this late at night. For one, finishing work these days does come into the daylight savings or daylight endings now, because daylight savings is over, so it's now dark when I finish work. And two, we are doing a late video because I have been requested by one of you guys in the comment section down below. I forget the name, but here we are. So the question today is about how do bikers handle night riding. Now obviously wet and night is a bit different, and I'm a little unhappy that it's raining because now my shins are going to be drenched, and well, here we are. But night riding, it's a little bit different than day riding. The dynamics of it aren't the same, the rules are not quite the same, but you can treat it very similarly, okay? So the difference between night riding and day riding is obviously at night you're a lot less visible. A lot of people's biker gear is black, and a lot of the bikes are the black themselves. Look at me, I'm one of them. My helmet's the only gold part about me. But even in then, no amount of high-vis jackets can save you from certain moments, all right? Sometimes a crash is just going to happen regardless. It doesn't matter how much effort you put into trying to, prevent such things. Bloody rain, why you ruin my day, shit? My shins are going to be so cold. So I'm going to head on the way to the petrol station, and we're going to talk about it on the way there. So why not? Mainly, one of the main things you're going to learn when you're riding at night, it's a similar principle to the rain, and that's when you're riding at night, you sort of got to take everything with a bit of a, bit of hint of caution. Obviously, people themselves are going to drive a little bit more stupider. People might not see you. You're going to be a lot less visible to the people. It's just one of those situations where you're just going to learn to maybe slow down in certain instances. God damn it, I'm so upset about this. Just don't ride like you stole the damn thing, because bikes, although they love it when you treat them, terribly, because they'll still love you in the morning, nighttime, it's just a little more risque to do such things, all right? Now, the main thing about night riding is it's all mental, all right? Now, yes, you're in a more dangerous state of vehicle experience when you're on the road at night, both in a car and on a bike, it's worse, but a lot of the challenge you find is very mental. So if you just ride normally and don't fear what's going on around, you generally tend to be quite okay? But if you're shit scared about riding and everything's, terrifying you, it's probably not the best to head out on your own, at least at night. I would recommend it. Some of the best rides I've done have been solo night rides in the middle of nowhere. For one, I did it pretty early on as well, so I'm not really scared about night riding. Yeah, but one of the first things I did when I was riding late at night is I went out to the middle of the mountains on my own. It was pitch black from the beginning of the ride to the end, and actually it was about a 2-3 hour ride all by myself in the middle of nowhere. Now, if you're doing something like that, I don't recommend going full speed. Even the speed limit in some of those places is dangerous. Just take it cruisy and do it at your own pace, because sometimes it's not worth it, especially if you're out in the middle of nowhere. You don't want to have an accident where no one's going to see you, because it's dark enough as it is. And if you crash your bike and the light turns off, guess what? No one's finding you till morning if you're injured, or at all for a long time. So perhaps take it cruisy. You don't want to end up a statistic when you're riding. I have not got riding shoes on. I've got bloody slip-ons. This is not the best riding gear right now. And it's wet. Why is every time I take my bike out now raining? Ever since I got the tyre changed, it's been moist. Oh boy. So, yeah, I'm really happy that it's raining right now. It's exactly what I wanted for a video, wet and dark, extra glare, although it might look nice, so who knows? We shall find out. But, yeah, when you're riding around late at night by yourself, a lot of the risk just comes in with visibility, really. So, you can have more things running across the road in terms of animals as well. That's another thing you got to worry about. Now, obviously, during the day, you can have deers and kangaroos and, well, whatever animals you have in your place. Australia really only has that to worry about. And obviously, you can have wombats and whatnot, but that depends on where you're riding. But when it comes to dusk to night time, it's a lot more of those animals start to come out. So kangaroos especially like to head out around at dusk time, and seemingly the kangaroos around the dirt paths. Yeah, paths, that one. I was going to get their word right eventually. Kangaroos around the dirt parts and gravel roads tend to come out late at night as well. Deer I've never really seen as an issue, because I've only really ever seen them late at night on the side of roads, but that's exactly why I'm worried about them, because one day I know they're just gonna happen. Like, I've only hit a kangaroo once in my life, and that was realistically because it hit me. I was driving down with my girlfriend and the kangaroo was a joey. I drove next to this bloody thing and it jumped into the car door like it was, hello, and you're like, Jesus Christ, you dumb little shit, why would you do such a thing? But that's one of the risks. On a bike, hitting an animal is a lot worse than hitting it in a car, because in a car you're protected by a big metal cage and windows and all that. On a bike, if you hit something, you're either going to fall down or break your hand or have a very bad time in general. There's very few instances where hitting an animal on a bike ends well, so purely just take it a little bit extra cautious around those country roads. Now, neighbourhoods, you're not really running out on too much risk. Maybe you might have a house cat, or maybe not much a house cat, but just a cat in general that's likes running out. Like, specifically, my missus has a place that has a lot of feral cats, so guess what? They might run out. They like to hide under the cars, but, you know, you've got to be careful of these things, because you never really know. Animals are unpredictable. That's the joys of wildlife, okay? So, other thing is people. You might have a pedestrian walk out in the middle of the road late at night, and a lot of the time, because of the fashion trends, people are wearing black and not much else. So you're going to have a lot of people dressing up in black, because that's just the fashion choices. So blokes, women, they like to wear black everything. And so naturally, you're just not really going to see them if they walk out in the middle of nowhere. Sometimes it's a bit risky. So I've had someone try and jump into the car before, and then you're like, brother, what are you doing? I'm going to destroy you if you do this. And it wasn't trying an insurance fraud, it was just drunk trying to start a fight, because, oh boy, in another life, maybe I would have done it. But no, I didn't do it, trust me. For legal purposes, I was a good, calm and collected man. Another thing you got to worry about late at night, typically, is the temperature tends to drop, alright? Now, this one's a bit of a subjective thing. Some places are worse than others, but if you can't really, enjoy riding in the day during the cold, guess what? It's much colder at night time, so you do have to worry about the temperatures a little wee bit there. You don't want to freeze your little nads off, mate, because it's just a fact. Alright, nighttime is colder. And if you live in a place that's slippier, obviously there's a person that ran across the road right there. Did you see them? I only saw them once they managed across. But if you live in a place that gets icy, now look, black ice is already a shit enough time during the day, but during the night where you can't see jack shit, guess what? It's over. Now, if you have a Rebel like this, obviously your light won't light up too much as well. You won't see into corners. Like this Rebel, when you lean into a corner, you don't actually see the corner at all. You're just sort of going off instinct, because the light sort of points at the ground. So there's another thing you got to worry about. Visibility, man, is just the be-all of end-all. And honestly, that's realistically the only big difference between riding during the day and night, and I wouldn't really be scared about doing it. The other reason I made this is because I've been asked to by one of yours truly, comments. Yours truly is probably not the term there, but man, I'm struggling right now. I don't know why. I feel like I'm running on fumes, and I had so much sleep, so we boogie. But don't be afraid of riding at night time. There's nothing but good times and whatnot, and some of the best rides you'll ever have are middle of nowhere, late night stargazer when you pull over. So don't fear the night time, just ride cautiously, okay? It's pretty much, that's it. Don't ride like an arsehole, okay? Treat it like you're riding in heavy traffic and everyone's there to hit you. Just pretend that everyone doesn't know that you exist, and then that will be your best ticket to survival, because if no one sees you, you're more likely to act like no one sees you. And it's not like when they say ride like you're invisible, it doesn't mean, you know, ride like you're invisible. It means like ride like everyone doesn't know where you are, not ride like they can't see you and you're just a bloody giga chad who's invisible. It's more like, that's because a lot of people misinterpret that. I might make a video on that actually. It's ride like you don't, exist on the road, so people are just going to drive into you and hit you regardless, because like the red car doesn't know where I am. That's pretty much what it is. Or this car might change lanes and hit me. So at night time, that experience is only amplified. So just take it easy, please. But anyway, let's get some petrol. And I think we'll call it a day there, man. Like I said, just take it easy at night time. Just don't ride like a knob, and then you'll tend to survive for the next ride. But otherwise, take it easy, keep it cheesy. Do leave a comment down below on what your thoughts are. And as always, have a nice day. Peace. Bye.